It's day 5 of rescue and relief operations at Mundakai and Churalmala in Wayanad. Rescue teams are doing their best to find possible survivors or recover bodies under the debris. Official death toll is over 400 and more than 200 people are still missing. Over 10,000 people have been displaced and are now living in relief camps in the district. Search operations are underway with nearly 1,500 personnel from the Fire Force, National Disaster Response Force, Forest Department, State Police, the Indian Army and Navy and volunteers. Hats off to you guys and thank you for your service. You have shown us what being human means. This is no doubt one of the worst natural calamities that has hit God's own country. The spirit of Kerala when they all get together to help those in need is something we have all seen in 2018 when Kerala was inundated. Those floods were one of the worst to hit this state till Wayanad happened. And looks like there have been no lessons learnt in the past 6 years. In the wake of this disaster, there was none of the usual acrimony among the Kerala leaders as usual. All were willing to put aside politics. Rahul Gandhi and Congress leaders visited the site of disaster and relief camps to show solidarity. But isn't visiting the disaster site among all the news media doing your politics? You are giving away houses for those displaced. You will give a month's salary to the relief fund. But dear Mr. Politicians, when the time comes to look at the ecological sensitivity of the area, will you put aside the politics and look at the larger picture? Before and after visuals of the same place shows the extent of the devastation. Were you, dear politicians, thinking of politics or the people when you agreed to let indiscriminate, undisciplined, unscientific development happen in that area? Experts have been saying for a while that there should have been proper guidelines and policies in place to check all the quarrying, mining, construction, clearing of forest cover to build plantations. But what did the government do now? It put out a gag order asking the scientific community to refrain from commenting on this. And I quote, "The scientific community shall be directed to restrain themselves from sharing their opinions and study reports to the media." Right now, the state government is in disaster relief mode. It plans a comprehensive rehabilitation process for the survivors. In fact, the state has announced it will identify a safer location for constructing a township for the survivors. The state education minister will visit Wayanad to ensure that children's education is not disrupted. Bravo! But what next? I am afraid that this will be done and forgotten within the month. Once the reactionary phase is over, Mundakai and Churalmala will become part of the statistics, just like 2019. Remember Pudumala? That landslide happened on the other side of this hill on August 8, 2019. Scientific evidence shows that the origin point of the landslide that occurred 5 years ago is the same this time. Internationally, the Western Ghats have been recognized as a region of immense global importance for the conservation of biological diversity besides containing areas of high geological, cultural and aesthetic values. Also called the Sahyadri, it is spread across 1,64,280 square kilometers and is the world's second most vital forest area. But its rich ecosystem and biodiversity are threatened due to habitat pressures. Why? Because it is home for more than 50 million people spread across Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And yet, the two reports, forest preservation and conservation, are still to be notified by successive governments for more than a decade. Since the disaster, I have talked to many experts across disciplines and all have a common sentiment. We need an interdisciplinary policy making structure to avert such a disaster in the future. But that policy making should also include local representation at grassroots levels. That means people who live there. People are important. Their livelihoods are important. Equally important is to make them aware of the beautiful gift of nature they have around them. And people want their elected representatives to not to think of them as just voters. This disaster was 10 years in the making. According to the experts, it is high time we get the policies in place. We need to look at people, development, geology and climate change in its totality and interconnectivity to go forward. Apart from that, researchers and volunteers from earth sciences, environmental sciences, biogeography, climatology, landscape ecology, Civil engineering, the list is not exhaustive. These people, these scientists should come together to help make local residents aware of their gift. In fact, there should be special programs in schools for the children living in these areas. I'm afraid that once the rescue operations are over, the photo ops are done, when the news cycle will find something else. And Wayanad in particular, and the threat to the Western Ghats in general, will be forgotten till the next disaster hits.